Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. My mic is supposed to be muted while the introduction video is playing, but apparently not. So you guys heard me whistling a Heart of Oak. That's what that is. It's a Navy song, something that stuck in my head. When I was younger, I used to be in Sea Cadets, and we heard that a lot. And I also was in the band, so we played that a lot. So yeah, that's what you heard. I see some people saying that you heard me and that there was no music. Oh boy, I don't know. I made new openings today, so I guess I have to re-add the music to it. So I'll get that fixed for next stream, guys. But yeah, that's always fun. And maybe you heard me sipping coffee too. I don't know. I don't know. At least I wasn't here, talking to the cat or something. Oh boy. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the market close. We do have a red market today, not by much, not by much. And we're going to jump in right away to the market. As you guys can see, yeah, we got a little bit of red. We're down about 0.1%. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Overall, though, guys, we're still well above that blue line. So we're still in a green month, believe it or not. This month, probably, I said this last month. Last month didn't feel like a green month with some of the shell shock that we've been through. And this month, it's just been the same. We've definitely had, we've had a rough ride, but we're still holding above. We're still holding above ground. So that's not so bad. The S&P 500, they're slightly into the green, 0.16 up, also well above our blue line. You'll find all the markets are well above the blue line today. The NASDAQ it's kind of almost flat for the day. Like it is currently at 0.01% up. It's been moving back and forth, slightly to the red, slightly to the green. What can I say? Dow Jones looking a little bit stronger, up 0.07%. Looking at commodities, gold is down just a wee bit, 0.08%. Silver's down 0.31%, well, now 0.35%. WTI looking a little stronger today, up 0.81%. Bitcoin's up 0.68%, and Ethereum up 1.84%. Looking at the heat maps, we got a good mixture here. We got a good mixture. We got a little bit of green. We got a little bit of green. We got a little bit of red, a little bit of in between. Some of the bigger greens in the day are, well, look at this here. Let's pull it up here. RB Global, they had a pretty good day. They're up a good 9.51%. Dollarama is up 2.67%, so not too bad. Metro is up. Over here, we've got Atkins Realis Group. They're up a good 5.23%. So definitely a good. It's almost a good day on the market. We're going to look at somebody here in a moment too. Realcan had a good day. They had their earnings today. Now, their earnings weren't the best, but they beat on earnings. They didn't beat on revenue. So they actually did go up from that. We'll look at that a little bit later. Heading to the US, a little bit more of a mixed match in here as well. You got Nvidia down a bit, Amazon down, Meta's down a full almost 2%. Now Tesla on the other side is up 1.87%. United Health actually up. They're having one of their rare days where they're in the green. And cryptocurrency, not a bad day for crypto. Pretty good mostly. Bitcoin up a little bit, Ethereum up a bit more, XRP up even more. The triple fours, 4.44%. Of course, guys, when it comes to, normally I switch to the opposite color, so we'll just grab a red. I'm not going to get rid of all the greens this time around. Let's go. We're going to go deep. We're going deep. All right. I'm going to pick some random crypto I've never heard of. There's about 15,000 plus basically altcoins, coins that a lot of them don't do much of anything. I like to call them crap coins. Other people in the crypto actually use a more crude term for them than crap. But yeah, let's grab. Whoops, I grabbed a green one. Who cares? Pollinate. What is this up? What is this all about? I know nothing about this. I almost feel dirty just clicking on this one. But yeah, they may be having a green day, but they've kind of been up and down, and they're worth they're not even worth a fraction. Well, it's like a very small fraction. It's like 0.04 of a cent. So not very much. Guys, if you want to get into crypto, there's lots of money to be made. There's lots of good coins that you get involved with. Stick to the big ones. Stick to your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, all of the bigger guys, even Dogecoin. Although I thought I heard that Dogecoin crashed on the weekend. I didn't actually look. I was very busy, but maybe. All right, guys, let's jump back to the market here for a second. I did want to very, very quickly just show you RioCan. So here's RioCan today. They're up. They're having a pretty good day, and that's because they had their earnings come out. So they did beat on their earnings. They came in at 0.42. They were anticipated to have 0.418. They did miss on that revenue by 2.62%, but the fact they beat on the earnings made investors a lot more happy. And as you can see, you don't always have to hit both to have a positive momentum in the chart. We got a good momentum. It's looking pretty darn good. All right, we got about 9 minutes to the bell. So let's hit up the chat room. We got Jonathan in first. Am I late? I hope not. No, you were nice and early. Jordan came in. Howdy there, Candace. Hope you're well as usual. Things are all right around here. Nice. Now, I heard rumors that part of the country was going to get a third snowstorm. I don't know if it happened or not, but holy banana bread. We had two here. So basically between the two, roughly 75 to 80 centimeters, we got big snowbanks, pretty big snowbanks. That's me. Leave me alone. Chad is in here with the popcorn and the eyeballs. Max says, afternoon all. We hear you. Oh, yes. That was me whistling while the countdown, the musicless countdown happened. Oh, boy. Chad says, sip that coffee. Yes, I always try to get a good sip in before the stream starts. Niece is in the house. Hello, Niece. Good to see you. And the no music. I know. I'll get that fixed. I'll get that fixed. Mary is in the house with a good afternoon. Of course, guys, Mary is here. Mary loves that thing called the like button. So everybody, if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit it now. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee while you guys are busy clicking on thumbs. Oh, that is so good. Ian said, bought so. And Vic is in the house, bought the dip on CE and NYSE, but no idea what that is. NYSE. That's a good question. Let me see. I don't even know if I have it in here, but we'll take a look. NYSE. Here we go. I do not have them. I do not have them. Sometimes if I don't have something, I will just go to Yahoo Finance and see if I can see it in here. NYSE. Let's see. Well, okay, there's the New York Stock Exchange composite. Yeah, no, but Vic, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, CE on the NY. All right. I am having a moment. All right, CE on the New York Stock Exchange. All right. Here it is right here. Celanese Corporation. Okay. I have never heard of these guys. Let's just see what they do first of all. They make acetic acid. Okay. So the largest producers of acetic acids and its downstream derivative chemicals, which are used in various end markets, including coatings and adhesives. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Let's take a back out. Let's back out here and take a look here. Oh yeah, this is quite the dip. This is quite the dip, really. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a worrying dip when when a company loses like half of its value. That's a little on the crazy side. Let me see here. They got a small dividend quarterly. They are in the positive. Let's take a gander back over here and see if we got any issues happening here. The return on equity 1581. That's good. They do have a fair amount of debt, 182% debt to equity ratio, but yeah, hopefully it's a good buy, Vic. I know if I was going to jump in on that, I would do a little bit more research to see if I could find some news stories to see if there's something happening in the company that caused them to drop that much. Also, and here, we got 5 minutes. We can do it. Let's take a look at them over here. And because this way here, I get all of the news as well. Here they are, Celanese. All right. Ooh. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's RioCan. All right, here we go. They had earnings. Let's take a look at their earnings. This is another one of those cases. Do you remember how we have seen this where you can actually have half decent earnings? So they did beat on their earnings. They beat on their revenue, not by much on the revenue. But yeah, that earnings call, something happened in that call that caused a little bit of a concern with investors here. Let's see, equities mixed amid geopolitical tariff risks. So that might be a part of it too. Digging in. Now, beautiful thing is, tariffs aren't going to be here forever. So that means that this is a company that probably will rebound. So I think, Vic, if you have some patience, it'll probably pay off for you. All right. Ian said, bought some TF, some Timber Creek Financial and Armax with dividends. I was trying to stack dividends, but I couldn't help myself. No, understandable. Let's see. Chat says, been loading up on Loblaws. Read they're going to open another 80 stores in 2025. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me. And Loblaws is one of those companies that they are recession proof. When the crap hits the fan, people still need to eat, so they're going to be fine. Bleak is in the house with a hey all. Bill says, NVIDIA was up on the day, then someone poked Palantir with a sharp stick. Not really sure why that dragged on NVIDIA. That's a good question. I was wondering if Palantir was using NVIDIA chips. I'm not sure, but they could be. Maybe that's what's going on. Stan is in the house with a hello all. We got Rory. Let's see. Hey all, just watched a video on BCE. Their only hope is to cut that dividend. Yeah, they really do need to cut the dividend. I agree 100% on that. I'll tell you guys something else interesting here. Okay, we got a couple minutes here. Guess who's getting close again to, you remember my Air Canada swing trade? Well, guys, Air Canada, they're sitting at 17 now. They're getting close. If they drop below 16 again, I will grab more in the challenge. Now look at this little dip down here. They actually dipped right down to 17. Actually, let's take a look and see what did they actually. If they probably wicked down to something here. Let's see. No, the low was 1770. Oops, sorry, right here. The low was 1701. So they almost made it into the 16. So I might have another swing play on Air Canada if they keep falling. All right. Chad says, whoops, BC wants that divvy stock gonna tank. Yeah. I mean, I really do think they should cut it. I think they really should and focus on just getting some recovery. But keep in mind, too, a lot of the money of all three of the telecoms are going into still, they're still updating to 5E. So, or 5G, 5G. Once they're finished the rural aspect, they have finished the urban. That's going to change things a little bit. So we'll have to see how that all works out. Chat says, in the red 30% on BCE, I'll go down with the ship. There we go. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's see. They have no choice but to cut with a 40 billion debt. I think they have no choice. I think they should. I think it would have been a smart move. But so far, They have not been willing to pull that trigger. And mind you, when they do pull that trigger, we're probably going to see, we will see more people jump off of the BCE ship, because there's probably people in there right now that are just on it because that dividend is so crazy high. So that'll be really interesting. That could push them down even further. And, maybe that would be a good buying opportunity for, because I still think long term they're going to be fine, but they got to get to the long term before we see that recovery. Guys, it is time. All right, bell time. The market is now closed. I didn't give a warning, so I went a little bit light on the bell today. I got to remember to give that warning. All right, let's see. Whoops, sorry. I didn't read what Chad said because the bell, because it hit 4. Let's see. Yeah, they should have paid down their debt instead of opening that company in the USA. Yes, I agree. Now, mind you, the way things are going, it could get really bad for the telecoms if Trump is able to get the U.S. telecoms access to the Canadian markets. That would be very interesting. Yeah, I need to think more about it, but it would definitely be very, very interesting. Ian says Rio Tinto is supposed to release earnings today. Interesting. I haven't heard of them, those earnings yet. But let's see. Roy says, I'm so glad I avoided buying it 2 years ago. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to avoid something like, people say that. Well, currently they say that with Bell, and a lot of people said that with Algonquin as well, AQN. But at AQN, let me just show you guys. They've actually been doing a little bit better lately. We'll go into our good old Algonquin Power and Utilities. Like, look at today, they're up a little over 2%. That's 5 days, but let's just go to the 3-month. They were still ricochet, but basically around the end. So for February, they have been on an upbeat. We'll have to see if they can hold it. But definitely interesting. Hey, well, that's funny. What's going on with Alimentation Couche-Tard stock? Can it go down to 60? Let's take a look. It's funny. I did get out of Alimentation Couche-Tard. I mean, I love the company. I do think that they're definitely a strong company. But look at them in the, yeah, they've been having. We're getting lower lows. If you'll notice here, we got a downward. They're on a downward trend currently. It'll be very interesting. And I haven't heard anything at all recently about their attempts to buy 7-Eleven. And it's kind of too bad. Like, if they could have acquired 7-Eleven, that would have been good for them long term. It would have been good for shareholders initially because they would have had to dilute a lot of shares to do it. But let's see what's happening. Like, they should be doing well, especially as we move into a recession. With these tariffs might happen. If we move into that recession, this is another one of these companies that does tend to be pretty recession proof. So we'll have to see how this goes. Definitely something to keep our eyes on, though. And Chad's saying, yeah, bad quarter for, yeah, that'll help. That definitely helps when you have a bad quarter. Ian says, I would like to know the dividend payout on Rio. Send button is too close to backspace. Let me take a look. Here we go. Rio. So are we talking, there's a couple of different ones here. Rio 2 Limited, I assume. Let me take a look here. What is their payout ratio? I see nothing on this one. I'm probably looking at the wrong one. Or are you talking about RioCan? Again, let's all right, let's just actually type in REI instead of doing that. There we go.
Your Amazon account is linked to Amazon Canada, where you can shop in Canadian English or Canadian French only.
Alexa, stop. I need to remember to unplug you. All right. All right, dividend payment. So with RioCan, it's 5.879%. If it's somebody different, let me know. I'm almost caught back up. Let's see, down 15% on the 1 year too. Larry's in the house. I've been playing GameStop shorts all week, bringing in the money. My 2X BABA ETF is up 140%. I sold play to KHC this week, bought $27, about to hit 30. Nice. And Chad saying pretty good flip. Absolutely. Let's see. Vic says, awesome, Larry. I missed KHC dip. With they were at 27 only briefly. That's sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's like you go to the bathroom and you miss the best buying opportunity of your lifetime. It's it can sometimes be that fast. Larry says, was just that morning earnings went straight back. I got a lot of calls for 30 for January 2026 as well. Nice. All right. Ian says, some people say BCE should not cut the dividend. Those people who say that already own BCE. Yeah, I mean, if you own BCE or you've been buying them in while they've been dirt cheap, that's a fantastic dividend. You don't see dividends quite that high on your on a blue chip company. So, it is really, really good. And keep in mind, like, now I'll give you another example. If you guys remember, BNS, so Bank of Nova Scotia, back when they were down quite a bit, their yield was starting to look crazy high for a bank, which was really good. But they've recovered. The banking industry, the banking sector has done so much better. But I just don't see it happening right away for the telecom sector. Roku is in the house with a good afternoon. Ian says, I commented on a video that BCE should cut the dividend. One guy got upset with me, said it's well covered. I asked if he owned it. He said yes, and I'm buying more. Guy was emotional about it. Somebody is can get emotional. And there's Tom. Tom made a huge amount of money on the last Air Canada swing. Yeah, Air Canada. They're on my radar again. I'm watching. If they drop below, we just need them to screw up and drop a little bit more, and I might get back in. I might even get back in at 17. It's it is very tempting. I love the Air Canada swings. Tim says, pour some sugar on me. Roger's sugar up today. Nice. I haven't looked at them today. RSI, here we go. Up 0.18. Just pull up the 1 year. Yeah, we got a little bit of a recovery. They're down right now, but they're going to be fine. And with some of the expansions coming on, mind you, the big problem, though, is the tariffs will impact them a little bit. So things could be a bit rocky, but they'll be fine on the other side of that for sure. Rory says, natural gas was up today, so utilities I own were up. Utilities. I love utilities. Yeah, one of my favorite sectors for sure. Larry says, craft sales were down, but profits up. I thought the call was good. They had a problem since COVID when their worldwide distribution system crumbled. They were they were using independent businesses to run it. Fun. Let's see. Also a big win on Win 7680, now $92 after beating earnings by double. Nice. Yeah. There's nothing like watching a company beat earnings by a crazy amount. Well, you guys have seen like NVIDIA before, not so much anymore. Is it next Wednesday, guys? I think it's next Wednesday is the NVIDIA earnings. So we'll be watching that. We'll be watching that on the show for sure. Ian says, I was talking about Rio Tinto, but that's okay. I'm trying to do my own research. Okay. Well, we're here. All right, Rio Tinto. That's right. You were talking about them earlier, so I should have realized that's who you were talking about. Here we go. Rio Tinto, right here on the U.S. Stock Exchange. Let me see here. Well, this one's showing me them being a little bit down today, but you were looking for the dividend on them, right? So their yield 5.516%. HIMS is on. Oh, let's take a look. I remember you mentioning that last week. All right, here we go. So this is Hims and Hers Health. Yeah, look at that. They keep on climbing. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. Jonathan, I have a feeling you're making some money here. But this does scare me a little bit. When I see movement like this up, it's fun to ride it up, but I'm always worried that you'll inevitably get a correction after this. So this is one of these ones that if I was riding it, I may not get off, but I would probably at least take some profits out of there. just in case we do start to get a retracement on that. But that's incredible. That's really, really nice. That was some nice whistling and great coffee sipping on the intro countdown. Yes, yes. It's like maybe that's what it is. Maybe instead of having music on it, I will whistle for 1 minute before during the countdown every day. That's it. That's our new thing. Oh boy. Jay says HHIS is so volatile. It went from 1330 down to 3007 in a span of 1 hour till closing. All right, I'm not sure what numbers you're looking at. Let's take a look. I think there might be a typo in your numbers, but all right. So 1330. Yeah. So okay, yeah, like 1338 down to 1312. Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of volatility right now. But one of the things I do like is that as long as, because mostly you got to almost call this a tech ETF. You got to almost call it, because most of the companies that it's holding are technology companies. There's a lot of them. Now, mind you, as Harvest adds more companies and they get pushed, they get rolled into HHIS as well. We're going to get broader diversification on this, and that's going to be fantastic. I still really love HHIS. It is, yeah, it's without a doubt a pretty good for covered calls. It's a really good one. All right, Paul is in the house with a hello, and Rory says, watching National Bank of Canada drop, looking to add this bank to my portfolio for a while. Yes, and we got next week is a I think around, most of them are, I think, on the 27th, 28th, right at the end of the month. That's when we're getting all of the bank earnings drop. So that means first week of March, we'll do we do a quarterly review, bank review. We'll be doing that as well. Let's see, HIM's mean reversion coming soon. There we go. Let's see. Ian says, looks like a payment of $225 USD ex-div March 7th, pay date April 17th. Rio Tinto, they paid biannual. Fun. Yeah, that's no worries. No worries. We went there. We went and saw. Ian says, SPY chart looks like it's due for a correction. Makes me worried. I also worry about China. They caused a world recession in 2014. Yeah, China always worries me. Let's actually take a look at SPY. I haven't, SPY, here we go. SPY. So we'll grab, all right, we'll go. Yeah, this is not the right one. I hate it when they give me like a whole crap load of them. All of them in the US here. SPY. All right, this one here. So 618. I'm going to pull out the 3-year on this one. Yeah, I mean, look at this. They have been moving really, really well. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just think they were like 400 not that long ago. I mean, quite literally. When was this here? 2023. They've gone from 400 to 600. So yeah, not a bad movement. Not a bad movement. When will they correct? I don't know. They don't have that much of a dividend, so you never know. I mean, it really boils down to this market, right? If these tariffs absolutely just wreck the American economy, wreck the Canadian economy, and create. And I've heard. I think they were talking about it on BNN the other day that there's that possibility that they could create that these tariffs could result in a world recession, not just a couple of countries, a lot of countries. That would be very, very interesting. What the heck is he doing with these tariffs? Leave the tariffs alone. Chad says, yeah, I've been looking at Roger Sugar. It hasn't done nothing in the last 5 years. Is that just an income play? It's interesting. I mean, I used to look at Roger Sugar as mostly an income play, but now with some of the expansions that are going on and some of the demand for some of their products, I was thinking we had a chance, but we got to get through the tariffs. They do sell to the United States, so that is going to cause some impact. pain for them for sure. Rory says, I looked at Roger Sugar, just couldn't pull the trigger on it. Chad says, Ian, whole market is due for major correction. These tariffs may very well cause a market correction, that's for sure. Paul says, 1985 Plaza Accord currency reset. Is there a Plaza Accord 2.0 coming? Yeah, you never know, Ian. Sorry, Paul. You never know. Let's see. All-time on SPY looks parabolic. Let's go to the all-time. The farthest I have is 20 years. But yeah, it's a parabola. We got ourselves a parabola. But when you do the all-time for a lot of companies, it kind of looks like this as well. So you got to realize too, I mean, when you're looking at a price too, you have to realize that all of the inflation from the last 20 years, that's all baked into this as well. So it's interesting. Yeah, I do like looking at a good parabola. Larry says, looks like Trump is now distracted with Ukraine. I'm just glad he's making the right choice and working with Russia to split the country. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but I think it's going to be a mess, I think, just for a little bit while longer. I think they will probably get a resolution this year. Then we'll have to watch and see what happens with the oil markets, especially if Trump decides to start pulling off some of the sanctions against oil, Russian oil. That could be really interesting. Duena says, in times like this, PDIV, with it being able to put as well as short, is great right now. Yeah, I mean, PDIV is another one of these good ETFs for sure. All right, Rory says, that's why Warren Buffett is waiting. Yeah. I mean, right now, it does not hurt at all to be thinking about adding a bit more defense to your portfolios, because right now I don't see a solution to these tariffs. Now, here's the thing. So far, they have been all talk. We have not, he's delayed every single one. And, we kind of have to see what happens early March. I mean, I think he's going to go ahead with them. But, he keeps talking. I think today he was talking about new 25% on autos and drugs, so pharmacy stuff coming out of Canada. Actually, it might even been world. I don't know, but he is talking about adding those, and all of these things are going to be cumulative. So, like for example, if he decides to add an extra 25% on autos, so you'll have 25% from the autos. You'll also get the additional 25% when the 25 across the board comes on. In addition to that, you'll have 50% right there. All of the steel will have an additional 25%, and aluminum that goes into automaking. So potentially, some parts of the auto business will have a 75% tariff coming out. Now, some companies, I know GM today said that if these tariffs look like they're sticking around for a bit, they're going to consider moving their factories back to the U.S. So we've already got, some of the car companies saying, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to give Trump exactly what he wants. And that's what he keeps on saying, is he keeps saying that, hey, just build your factory here in the U.S. and there's no tariff on anything you make here. And I think a lot of companies are going to do it because, it does end up coming down to the bottom line. It used to be cheap. Canada had a nice, cheaper labor force, access to all of the materials. It was a good place to set up business. But with these tariffs, it's not as great a place anymore. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all rolls out. Not keen on it having a happy ending at this point in time. Ooh, that's good. All right. Chad says, I don't know, maybe I watch too many doom and gloom videos, but history often repeats itself. So I'll be a little paranoid in the markets and just stack cash and sats. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with playing it defensive right now. Like, I think if you if you as an investor right now are not looking at anything defensive, like you're thinking, nah, everything's going to be fine. That's not the right attitude at this point in time. So, having a bit of a cash position, it doesn't have to be cash. It can be like a cash ETF or something like that. That's not a bad position. Also, looking at some of your more recession type proof stocks. Those are not a bad place to be looking towards. Also, looking like, even if you're like if you're an investment, but if you're uh, if you're an income investor, purely income investor, there are options out there for income investors. So I think in the last video we had HUTE. That's a utility. I mean, though, you're investing in utilities. Utilities, no matter what happens in the economy, utilities are needed. Everybody still needs their power. So they tend to be pretty good in situations like that. The tariffs also with utilities, they're mostly selling, within their own country, or in the case of something like Fortis, we'll use them for an example. They have a huge American base, but that's not getting tariffed. But if they were selling electricity from Canada to the United States, well, that would be a different story. But most of the stuff they're selling in the United States is produced in the United States, so it's not going to get tariffed. So a company like Fortis will do well. That's why, going back to the income investor, something like HUTE, HUTE, it has a better chance of of not getting hit as hard as everything else when these tariffs start falling, when they start falling on us. Oh, and the funny thing is, guys, I like to be the optimist, but I'm also a realist. So I'm at odds. I'm at odds between my optimism and my realism, and the realism right now is winning out. Because, it's coming. It's coming, folks. All right. Paul says, now Ontario will understand how the rest of Canada is like without auto workers. Yeah, it will definitely. I mean, Ontario is going to take a huge hit. Absolutely. Now, we also have, we got an election coming up at the end of this month here in Ontario as well. So we'll get to see if Doug can stay in power. He's been in power for a while, but the polls, I think right now with the conservative surge, he's still looking pretty good, but we'll see if he can hold on to his majority, if he can grow his majority. We'll see what happens. I have already voted. I looked outside and it's really cold. I'm not going to vote at a poll. So I did mail-in voting this time around. It's a easy way to vote. Easy way for sure. Jordan says, I hate to say it, but the threat of these tariffs just reinforced my constant ordering from the China sites. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where the US is going to get hurt. Canada's not going to just roll over and die. We're not going to do that. Our politicians, they will start reaching out. We will start trading more with Europe, trading more with Asia. We'll have, especially the longer this goes, that's where it could hurt the U.S. a little bit, especially if we start finding some good sales for our oil. They need that oil, so there could be interesting. And I have heard a lot of Canadians still, more than normal, talking about the nuclear option. Like, let's just cut the power to New York, or let's cut the oil supply completely to the United States. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. But what can I say? I don't. In a way, on the other side of this, Canada will definitely be a stronger country for it. We're not going to be a stronger 51st state. We'll be a stronger country. The only way we're going to be a 51st state, and I've said this before, is the U.S. needs to come in with the military, and their name. Their reputation would not be great after that if they did it, but well, with all of these tariffs, reputation is sinking a little fast anyway. Chad says, Rory Warren Buffett bought Domino's Pizza and some beer company the other day, but still sitting in a mountain of cash. Well, there we go. When when the crap hits the fan, people want pizza and beer. So that's not a bad Not a bad idea, I guess. Larry says, I wish the altcoin, I'm not sure which one that is, ETFs would come out. Okay. Oh, I wish these altcoin ETFs would come out so I can short. They're so weak and Bitcoin hasn't even dropped to 80 yet. Yeah. I know that there's been talk of a few different altcoins. I think Solana ETF and I believe a Doge ETF as well. So that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. I mean, I look forward to them only because, with the volatility, they might be quite playable. Jay says, I'm debating to replace my HHL to a ZLB or Z or XST. HHL seems to be a slow growth. Interesting. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we take it HHL. What is that? That's the healthcare leaders one. There we go. HHL. So yeah. Yeah, it's not really, it hasn't been doing a lot, but healthcare has actually been in a little bit of the dumpers lately, and I have a feeling I don't see recovery anytime soon. If anything, I see things in healthcare getting worse over the next while for sure. Chad, Rory, always depression people always have money for booze and drugs and fast food. Yeah, well, there is that, and also keep in mind. I think I heard something about RFK wanting to wanting to look at like Zoloft and what's the other one? There's that other one for depression. So maybe if depression drugs all of a sudden start disappearing, that's what they're going to have is booze, booze and pizza. Rory says, Chad, I know Warren's like for candy and Coke. Slow and steady wins the race. All right. Pedri says, good afternoon, all. Hey, I don't recognize you, so welcome to the chat. Always love it when a new person shows up. Chad says, my price got triggered, so had to. Interesting. Oh, that's definitely interesting. Oh, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the chat. I'll mention it now. It's okay. I mean, if you guys do want another market close for Friday, this 4 super thing, that's pretty much a standard. I'll tell you guys when it's not, but yeah, so that is available if you guys want it. It's up to you guys. Who knows what'll happen between now and Friday? That's for sure. Ford says, hi, Candace. What are your thoughts on the new harvest MSTY down 3.5% today? Well, MicroStrategy. Let me just show you this over here. Where are they? So I guess not MicroStrategy. Now they're just strategy. I saw no. Oh, it was sorry. It wasn't here that I saw it. It was here. Let's see. No, Tesla, Nvidia. I thought I had Strat. Where the heck is it? Oh, I cleaned this out earlier, and I think I cleaned it out. MSTR. Here we are. Let's add them back. Yeah. See, look at this. MicroStrategy was down 4.58%. So that's why MSTY. That's why Misty was down because they are that's what they're holding. MicroStrategy. Let's see. Forward that the Canadian or the USA one. Now that's the harvest one. So that's the new Canadian one. But yeah, so that's definitely, I mean, they're definitely down. I imagine as well. Well, I bet you. Let's just take a look. I bet you MSTY, the US one is down too. Let's take a look here. There's the harvest. Here's the yield max one. I'm going to pull the yield max up and take a look. Yeah, so even the yield max one is down 3.51%. So I think that's exactly what's going on. Just MicroStrategy not having a great day. And of course, anybody that's holding only MicroStrategy in the same boat, Let's see. Ford says ETF. Yeah, it's the new one. Canadian or US one for Misty. There we go. Chat says, I hold the USA one pays stupid divvy. There we go. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, the market's going to do what the market does. While we're here, guys, let's just see here. The TSX did not get back into the green. It finished at 0.09. So it stayed in the red. But look at this. The other markets, the US markets were in the red. Here's the S&P 500, sorry, in the green. The NASDAQ, and of course the Dow Jones, all in there. Crypto, mostly in the green. Bitcoin up a little bit. Ethereum doing much better than Bitcoin today, up 2.02%. But what can we do? What can we do? It's fun, and it's going to remain fun for a bit. I had. I'm slowly starting, guys. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, I'm going to bring this over here so that we can see it. All right. So I'm slowly working on getting up some products over here on the store. So right now we've got, of course, seriously, come on, show me it. All right, here we go. We got the first one that I made, which was the beaver Trump mug. We also have, I've added two more. I've added two more so far because, as you know, each super is being added to that swag counter because I'd like to give away some swag. All right, come on, guys. Give me the second one here. Yes. This one here is the not too shabby mug. So somebody had requested that. I will say this. Right now, I picked the colors, the text. If you don't like the color of the text and you're like, oh my God, that's the perfect mug. I'd like that mug, but I need the text to be red or I need the text to be green. Let me know. I'll make it for you. I mean, I've got the files. It's just a matter, it takes 2 seconds to change the color. I just went with this because basically the text is the same color as the t-shirt. And then right around it, there's a little thin brown line that outlines the text. And that's the same color as the brown in the beaver shirt. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Ooh, and guys, we got us a super. That means Mary is the goat. So we have a goat. So that is one that does put us that puts us one closer to a stream on Friday. But at the same time, it does knock us up to 7. There we go. They need to make a system that will do this for me so I don't have to manually do it. That would be fantastic. But what can I say? I also put the not too shabby as well. And that's just the same one. I was just playing around a little bit. Whoops. I threw it on a t-shirt as well, just to sort of see how that would look. And as I said, we're going to do colors and stuff. And any design that you see that you want modified a little bit, I can do that. It's not a big problem. I do have to get more up. I got a whole bunch of requests for different ones. So I'm just adding them through the month because, as I said, if we get that swag up to 25, we're going to do a draw. We'll have it. The final stream of the month, we'll have a draw, and we'll see who wins a piece of swag. Now, I'm also looking. I've been looking at a couple of interesting things. So one of the things that's really, really interesting is I've been looking back at the history of the supers on the channel, and it turns out there's about 5 people on the channel who just do a lot, who do a lot of supers. So I'm just trying to think. I want to do something down the road for those guys as well. But I now know who all of the big super people are. Most of them I knew. There was one I think that I was like, oh my God, they've donated a lot more than I thought. So that is always kind of cool. Whoops. Well, Rory says, get the heck out of Dodge. Yeah. Oh, and here's what that was in reference to. SOL Doge and XRP, I believe, in the works. Oh, so let's get the heck out of, oh, well, get the heck out of Dodge or Doge. There we go. Let's see, you need to brand it with Mountain Finance logo. So, okay. Yeah. I know that I have one request for a bag with the Mountain Finance logo on it. But you're thinking I should, funny books, you're thinking I should maybe with the not too shabby have the Mountain Finance logo in there somewhere too. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Mugsy says an absolute no on the Trump mug. Yeah, you know. Um, I actually kind of want to get one of the not too shabby mugs myself because, right now I got this. I got the Yeti, so that would be kind of cool. And okay, Funny Book says yes. Maybe if there was like a little Mountain Finance logo underneath it and says all rights reserved or something crazy like that, that might be a way to go. So just something, but I am working on it. I'm trying to get all of that stuff together. And of course, um, you'll probably see as well. Every year I try to go through the channel and figure out some ways to improve a few things. So you'll probably notice I've changed up a little bit of the format on some of the videos now that you got that blue bar thing. So yeah, I'm just always working at different ways I can do things, make things cleaner, make things a little bit better, easier to use, all of that fun stuff. Chad says Trump and Musk can go to Mars any day now. Yeah. It's actually funny Elon story, I guess, sort of an Elon story. Um, some kid had thought they found a meteor that was floating around the planet, that was orbiting the planet, but it turns out it wasn't a meteor. It was a car. It was that car that that Elon put in orbit. So yeah, there's that Tesla. I think it's a Tesla car that's orbiting the planet. So I thought that was kind of funny. I also heard today, guys. And just give me 1 second here. We got a second super. Let's knock that up to 8, and that means we've got ourselves a new goat. Here we go. There we go. I got three goat videos now. I need a fourth. I do need a fourth, but there we go. We might get to see the third one today. We might. All right, let me go back to the comments here. All right, Larry says, does anybody wear Trump hats in Canada? Not that I know of. Now there is, I know I think Doug Ford actually started this Canada's not for sale hats. So some of them are red like the MAGA hats, but it says Canada's not for sale, and others are black. I've seen both of those, but I don't think I personally have never seen somebody wearing a MAGA hat in Canada. Not to say that I know there's plenty of Trump supporters in Canada, but I've never seen any of them brave enough to go out with a MAGA hat on. Chad would use it for toilet paper. What, the MAGA hat? That would be rough on the bum. Rory says, maybe Canada is not for sale hats. Yeah, exactly. Apparently those are selling pretty well. I think you can get them on Amazon. You know what? Let's find out. Let's find out. All right, we're going to go to amazon.ca and let's see. Not for sale hat. We'll see what that brings up. Here it is. Look at this. Yeah, Canada is not for sale. Canada is not. Oh, this is a nicer one. I like this one better. It looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can get a lot of them. Canada not for sale. There we go. They do exist. They're on Amazon. Guys, it's almost like now I need to put these in my affiliate links. I do have an Amazon affiliate thing for books and stuff. I just don't have any of it listed below yet. So I do need to get on that and put that up. Oh boy. Funny Books says, laughing. Nope, boycotting Amazon. Okay, well, there we go. So we can't do that through Amazon. Ooh, if you guys want, I could probably make one of the beavers have a Canada is not for sale hat. That might be an interesting way to do it. I actually kind of like that idea. Have your hat made locally. Yeah. I've always been a fan of when you can support local businesses. It's in your best interest. You're supporting your fellow Canadians, your fellow community. Your money is staying in the country. The taxes are going to your government. Not that our government handles the money it makes Well, yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Although right now, and this is in regards, of course, to the title of the show. We have had a situation where, because of the tariffs, all of the impending tariffs, we're now heading into budget season for a lot of the provinces. So a lot of these provinces, they are actually starting to sort of say, okay, let's not spend all the money. Let's start putting it aside because there's a lot of economic pain coming. So it's good to see that provinces are forward thinking, but it's going to be interesting. I think Nova Scotia, I think they have a budget coming out pretty darn soon, actually. Let me take a look here, see when it is. The Globe and Mail. The Globe and Mail. Let's see here. Oh, here's a story about GM. Where is that story? I thought it was in here. I thought it was in here. Okay, well, it's in here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it at a glance. Why the heck am I not seeing that? Oh, well, it was on the front page earlier. Now it's gone. But yeah, so Nova Scotia, I think, I don't know if it was Quebec. It might have been Quebec, or it may have been one of the prairies that is going to be doing a budget as well this week. So, but it is something that is in the minds of a lot of the premiers. Hopefully, another thing that is in their minds is getting rid of all of these rules and regulations that make that hinder cross-province trade, because we want to get that moving as well. You know, let's if the U.S. is going to hurt us, we shouldn't be hurting each other. That's I think that's a good way to go. Rory says, could the UK buy us back? Now, that'd be funny. We just, we'll just head over to England and say, yeah. Oh, we decided this being a colony in a country, it just isn't working. Let's go back to the British Empire. That'd be interesting. There's a lot of ideas I've heard. I've also heard ideas that Canada should join the EU. So there's those as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, we have so much going for us. We have so many minerals. We got the oil. We got the minerals. We got the water. We have everything you could need to be an economic power, except for we've never utilized it. We've never produced our own goods. We have never processed our own oil. We're just not doing that. That's what we need to do. And, maybe it'll take some time to get, all of everything up in gear and up and running. But I think in the long term, it'll be worth it. This Trump, him coming along and doing this now, it could be a favor. It could be a favor on the longer scale if we do it right. If we, if we do utilize our stuff, utilize our, like, for example, right now, the fact is the oil we sell to the U.S., because we don't have the ability to refine it ourselves, we're selling it to them really cheap. Even though Trump is like, oh, you're ripping us off. We're not ripping you off. You're getting a great deal on our oil. Even at the 10% tariff, he's getting a great deal on the oil. So let's get our refineries. Let's produce our own materials. And then if they want our oil, they can pay market value for it. They're not going to get, they don't need to get any discounts on our oil. Same with water. The U.S. right now, water is going to be one of them critical things that they're going to need more and more of. And we have it. We have, I think, one of the top 3 reservoirs of water in total in the world. I mean, we're really, most of the fresh water is here. So we're in good shape. We are in absolutely good shape. So we just need to get off our butts. Maybe we have to suffer for a little bit while we're getting this all going. But, some of the things we can do fast, like removing the trade barriers between provinces, we can do that fast. Getting a pipeline from the east to the west, from the west to the east, that's going to take a bit of time. But it should be a priority. Getting these factories should be a priority. We should be an economic power, and let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Paul says, I do not want the UK to buy Canada. The UK arrests you for a meme. Really? See, I've not heard this. I've not heard about the meme thing, but if the US does that, or sorry, the UK, that's crazy. Now, I mean, the problem with the UK, buying Canada is I just don't know if I could, get used to calling an elevator a lift. That could be that could be a problem. And plus, I'm not even sure what bangers and mash are. Well, I think mash is potatoes, and bangers has to be some kind of meat. Maybe sausages? Is that what that is? Sausages and potatoes? But what can I say? Let's see. UK is mostly lib. And okay. UK wants you in jail for a Facebook post. Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you created a Facebook post where you were specifically threatening people, well, maybe something should be done. For example, I mean, you take in the US, they have a lot of these mass shooting events. So if somebody were to post on Facebook, yeah, I'm planning to go and, shoot up this area. Yeah, they should be arrested. Something should be done before it happens. But if you have an unpopular opinion, yeah, you definitely should not be arrested for that at all, in any way, shape, or form. I mean, people have the right to think you're annoying or maybe not like you because of what you posted, but you shouldn't be arrested for an unpopular opinion. Buddha says USA is the biggest oil producer in the world. Yeah, now keep in mind, the key word there, Buddha, is producer. They produce it. I mean, we're technically not really producing it. We're pulling it from the ground. They produce a lot of our oil that goes down there. But we do have one of the largest amounts of oil out there. Now, a lot of what the U.S. has, though, and the U.S. has a lot of oil, no doubt about it. But a lot of the stuff they have is light crude, and their oil refineries, they're not geared. They have some that are geared for light crude, but most of them are geared for heavy crude. So they need the heavy crude. And that's something the U.S. should be doing too. It's like, not just Canada. I mean, the U.S. should be building their own refineries, more refineries for heavy crude, or even converting current refineries for that. So that would be interesting. Max says, new train from Quebec City to Toronto. Yes, it's going to be one of these super, super speed trains. So I believe, because we talked about it once on This Week. And if I remember correctly, I think you can do the trip in about 4 hours. So that's really, really cool. Now, mind you, it's going to take a long time to actually build the tracks for it. But yeah, no, it's a huge thing. Like, I think it will actually stop at a few different cities on the way as well. All right, let's see. Ruled by Trump or His Royal Majesty? Which king do we want? They're both kind of carnatures, so we'll stick with the prime minister. I think we're fine with that. Chad says Trudeau trying to win votes. Well, there's no chance of him winning now. He's pretty much gone. Quite literally, guys, less than a month, there'll be no Trudeau. At least politically, he'll be. I think he's still in the party though until the election, but he won't be the prime minister. Max says sausage and potato. Okay, so it was sausage. All right, good, awesome. Trudeau trying to get votes again. All right. Paul says UK arrests you for putting the Union Jack British flag emoji in a really? Like, why would they do that? I mean, is the Union Jack British flag no longer in order? I don't know why they would do that, Paul. That's weird. Bismarcky says, good afternoon. Hello, Bismarcky. Good to see you. Rory says, U.S. cannot make a lot of diesel. Okay, there we go. So there's another thing that they can't make a lot of. And I will admit, I don't know how to make diesel, but Chad says, Rory, yes, they can. They just refine heavy crude for Alberta oil sands. All right. SMCI stock to the moon. So super microchip. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at super microchip in probably about a month, maybe. This is one of these chips that, like I said, I'm not a fan of super microchip, but yeah, they've had a pretty good day for sure. Let's just come back here to the last year. So they have turned around a little bit. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm still, there's been so much corruption embroiled around super microchips, so I have a hard time having confidence in them. But for those of you who do like super microchip, well, you guys have had pretty much, yeah, most of February has been pretty darn good for you. So that's not too shabby. Paul says in Canada, a guy showed up to a Palestinian protest with a Canadian flag, and police either took the flag away or arrested him. Really? Now it might be that they took the flag for his own safety, depending on, because I know some of the Palestinian protests got pretty I don't want to say violent, but pretty energetic. I'll say that much. But yeah. So what can I say? What can I say? All right, guys, we're almost at the end. So you got your last minute questions. Drop them in. I'm going to have some coffee while you guys are thinking about them. Doesn't mean that we're done right away. Sometimes I'll ask it and we go another hour. Usually not on one of these, but we'll see. Oh, thank you very much. Who was I saying thank you to? Did I just thank my coffee? Well, it is good, so I guess it deserves it. Why is Intel going up? That's an interesting question. I'm going to go over here because this way here, I might be able to get some news because I don't know off the top of my head why it's going up. But here we go. Here's Intel. Let's drop it in. All right. There seems to be some kind of news. Yeah, they have been. Whoops, that's not Intel. Here's Intel. Bang. Yeah, look at this. This is not bad. So pretty much from the 7th of February. So, what's that, a couple Fridays ago? They have had this nice bit of movement up. All right. Let me just see here. Do I have... let's see. Intel is in talks to sell a majority stake. Yes, I think I did hear about this. Yeah, so they're basically selling a majority stake in their Altera unit for about $9 billion, which is going to reduce costs. So yeah, investors are liking this. I do remember I saw this earlier today in the news. So that's probably one of those factors as well that have been certainly helping. And also the talks up to the fact that they're going to do it. So yeah, this could be good. This could be good. Now, I mean, some people I guess over here, Barron says that Intel's future is still murky. Don't chase the stock. It's hard to say. But I think right now people are happy with what they're doing. At least they're making some moves to right the ship and get things going in the right direction. That's great. But, I'm still very bullish overall on tech in general. So that includes everything from Intel, NVIDIA, Microsoft. I still think we're pretty early in, if we want to call it a bubble, if you want to call it the AI bubble, where the bubble's it's pretty small. It's, some people are like, oh my God, it's ready to pop. Well, it's not. There's so much coming down the road. I think ChatGPT is getting ready to release 4.5. So that's going to be interesting as well. And apparently it's doing really well. And oh yes, and I think Elon has even has released Grok 3. I stick with ChatGPT. It does everything I need. Basically, it makes beavers for me. What can I say? That's what I use it for. Beaver making 101. Paul says, hit the like button. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. The algorithm really, really, really likes it. And basically, anytime you interact with a YouTuber's channel, whether it be the like button, comments, things like that, the algorithm looks at that as positive stimuli, and it will then push you out further to other people. So that's going to be cool. Chad says Carney will be worse than Justin Trudeau, I think, and carbon tax will be 4x. Well, he said he's going to get rid of the carbon tax. Well, at least the customer-facing side of the carbon tax, and move it into some kind of more of an industrial. And I know that, and reporters were asking him about this, is this going to filter down to the consumer? He says no, but I don't believe him. I don't believe him on that. Larry says Vice President Vance also talked about supporting Intel during his Europe meetings. He called it American-made chip manufacturers, but there's only one. So yeah, yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I think Intel will still be fine. I mean, they're a major manufacturer. All of the chip makers, especially because that was one of the other things that Trump was talking as well about, putting tariffs on, is chips being made outside of the United States. So I think that's also going to be a 25% tariff on that as well. So that will help, at least, people who need chips in the United States. They're going to start looking to companies like Intel and Nvidia. Yeah, absolutely. Can we get a Mountain Finance banana bread in the store? All right, so banana bread with the logo in there. I guess Misty was, or sorry, no, Funny Books was mentioning the logo. So yeah, we can do that. I'm going to Command Shift 4. All right, that is my screen printer thing, my screenshot. Then I've highlighted your comment, Jonathan, and I will drop that over into my to-do list, because I got a whole bunch of them. But I like that. We definitely need a banana bread for sure. Visit Marky says QNC is up 70% today, and I'm still down about 10%. Just my luck. Well, let's hope they can go up another 10% tomorrow. At least get you back on key. All right. Oh, we have ourselves a super, and that means that Jonathan is or sorry, that Banana Bread Company is the GOAT. There we go. I was still thinking about Jonathan and the Banana Bread logo. Oh yes, guys. Sorry, I was there we go. That knocks us up to 9 on the swag meter. Awesome. That's what, I like that. The swag meter. That works. All right. Thank you very much, Banana Bread Company. And I will say, Banana Bread Company is in the top 2 supers, as in super donators on the channel. So they're in a race. Actually, Banana Bread Company and somebody else is neck and neck for the top spot. So I think the other person is in 1. I think Banana Bread is actually just shy at 2. So, but this might change it. I'll have to add it. I created a new spreadsheet. I love making spreadsheets. It's kind of a guilty pleasure that I have. All right. Mario says, whoops. Parkland Fuel has a refinery in BC. Yes, and there was supposed to be a second refinery. I heard something about it being canceled, but I haven't had a chance to dig into that. That's not what we want to see. We don't want to see things canceled. We want to see things moving forward, opposed to going backwards. And that's the thing too, especially with some of the natural gas. Let's get that process. Let's get more abilities. Now, one of the interesting things too, and I was thinking about this the other day. So one of the things that people have been talking about is twinning. So twinning is where you basically run a second pipe along the pipe that's already there, because one, that land's already been zoned for piping, so you don't have to get all of the approvals again. So it's an easy way to basically double your capacity. So I don't know if we could do that with the whole Trans Mountain line. Part of it is because some of it's buried, but maybe it would be something that's possible. It would still probably cost just as much money. Well, maybe not quite as much, but it would still probably cost some billions to get it done. But imagine if we could double that capacity. But I know right now that we're not at 100% capacity in what we're shipping through that pipe for now. So let's get that up to 100% capacity. Let's start selling that stuff to Asia. I guess that would be your big market, Asia, Australia, maybe. Let's do it. All right. Whoops. Rory says Goober canceled it in Kitimat. Okay. Yeah, I thought I heard that. Ah, what a banana bread head. That's all I can say. Buddha says, do you have any opinions on MDA or MAO? All right, well, let's take a look. Let's look at MDA first of all. Here we go. All right, so MDA space. Interesting. I've not looked at these guys before, Buddha. This is my first time looking at them. I may have seen them once before, but I think this is my first time. Let's take a look here. Look at this. They've done really well. They have a little bit of a correction, but that's normal. Let me just see here. So, all right. So let's see, they're a global space company. Let's see, robotic satellites, geo intelligence provider. I like that. I like everything I see there. Aurora technology, constellations extend communication networks to every corner of the globe. Yeah, I like this. I like what they're doing. They do seem to have some pretty good growth on them. Let me just take a gander here at, head over to their key data here for a second. Oh yeah, I like this too. They only have a 35% debt to equity ratio, so not a lot of debt. Their return on equity, it's low, 6.18, but they're probably sinking a lot more back into their own growth, and I'm fine with that. I think I like them. I think I like MDA. MAL. Let's take a look at MAL here. More. So this is a Magellan Aerospace Corporation. They're a little, they're not that big, like $10 a share, but let's take a look here. Okay, here we go. All right, so they have been doing pretty good since about since about the middle of 2023. They've been doing pretty darn good. All right, now this one does have a tiny dividend on them. I imagine they're going to be doing similar stuff. So aerospace industry, two major product groups. Yeah, these are good. I like what they're doing. And I think aerospace is one of these fields that is probably not going to suffer, because even though Elon is, kind of protecting SpaceX, I think it's going to sort of extend to a lot of aerospace across the board. So I think aerospace is fine. Now, let's take a look at the debt on this one and our once again, very low, 12% debt to equity ratio. I love it. Return on equity, it's low, but they could also be putting that money back in. So I think these are definitely companies to watch. All right. Oh, Banana Bread is in again with another dividend. All right, let's knock the swag meter up till 10. That's also the fourth super of the show. So that means we get a Friday show. So we will be back here on Friday. And that also means that Banana Bread has reaffirmed goathood. So Banana Bread is once again the goat. Love it. This is fantastic. Fantastic. All right. We've had a pretty good show. I'm enjoying this. You guys have some good questions. I love it. When you guys come with the questions, it makes my job so much easier for sure. And yeah, Mary is throwing thanks up to the Banana Bread Company. I always loved it. Now, where Banana Bread Company is saying you received a dividend, I think that might have been, I could be completely wrong, but I think Banana Bread started doing that after the whole lawn dividend incident. So that was when I was sitting downstairs looking at the window one day. This is like more than a year ago now. And lo and behold, out on my lawn was a $10 bill. So I got up, I went outside, and I picked it up. And I told the chat about it, and somebody says, "Oh my God, your lawn paid you dividends." And then Banana Bread Company started doing, you received a dividend. So I think it was around the same time. It could just be a coincidence, though. It could very well be a coincidence at the same time. But, I always remember every time I see you received a dividend from Banana Bread Company, I think of the lawn. I think of that lawn $10. And you know what, guys? I still have that $10 bill. I have not done anything with it. It's sitting in my wallet. It's just there. It's, it's kind of one of these things that's like, what do I do with a $10 bill? I don't know, but it is there. Someday it'll be like, I'll be someplace and they'll be like, you need cash. And I'll be like, oh, I got the $10 lawn dividend. And that'll be fun. Chad says MDA Great has backlog of orders, made crazy gain in the past year. Great Canadian company. Yeah, out of the two, MDA and Mal, I like MDA better. I think MDA, they just seem to be on a pretty good roll. So I may have to look at that. Give you guys a Quest Trade update. And I know I got a couple people saying, hurry up and get your affiliate code for Quest Trade. It should be, I should have it, I think tomorrow or by Friday. I'll definitely have it. I did reach out to them on chat yesterday, and they were like, "Oh, we need to reset it up again." And I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." And they said 1 to 2 days, and you'll get your code at the same time. So I'm waiting on that code. I will get that up right away. I know I've had a couple people say, "I'm waiting to use your code. Please make it happen faster." So it is coming up now. Quest Trade, as you guys may or may not know, they've now moved to commission free. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, we want to get over there and give it a whirl." The beautiful thing is, guys, once I have that code, if you sign up with Quest Trade, and I think you have to fund your account $250. But if you fund $250 into your Quest Trade, they give you $50. So that's really cool. Anyway, that's coming up. We have a stream on Friday now, so I should have. Fingers crossed. I should have the code for Friday, and we'll go in and we'll take a look. We'll go in and we'll take a look a little bit at it too. So that will be fun for sure. All right, guys. This has been another fantastic afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. You guys always rock. We will, of course, be back on Friday. And we do have a video as well dropping on Friday. And the EBIT video, the Evolve video, they had one tiny little change they wanted me to make. So I made that today. So they said within 2 days, they should have that back to me, and that should be dropping. So unless they tell me I have to drop it on a particular day, that could even be dropping as early as Saturday. So that would be kind of fun to have a bonus on the weekend. But chances are it's probably going to be like a Monday video. Well, it'll have to be either Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday of next week, simply because I'm not going to drop it on the same day as a regular video drop. So yeah, anyway, that's all coming up. Oh, and guys, I did add a tiny end screen. So as I leave, there's a 5-second outro. I guess, is that what we call it? An outro screen or an outie? We'll call it the outie screen. So we do have the outie screen. You guys will get to see it here in just a moment. Once again, this has been fantastic. I can't wait till Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day, and let's hope the market is kind to everybody this week. See you guys Friday. It'll be a blast. All right. Take care, everybody.